Hey, this is Jordan from Jersey, and this is what I thought of the comics I read the week of November 11th, 2009. And we'll start things off today with Cable, issue 20. And all I have to really say is that this is the second not quite terrible issue in a row, so that's a step up for the series. I'm really hoping it gets a lot better. I do have some hope based on the fact that the cover for next issue, I'm assuming this is the cover, has Hope all grown up, so maybe that means we can get back to the modern day and leave this whole stupid Cable getting chased by Bishop through time and space thing behind us, because it's gotten really old. It was old 10 issues ago, and we're at issue 20. Please? And next up, we have issue 3 of 5 of Ender's Game, Command School. If you've ever read Ender's Game, you know about what is going to happen in this issue from the cover. If you've never read Ender's Game, what you need to know is that this is probably the most brutal thing that happens in the book, probably. It's also, in my opinion, one of the many reasons why the movie has such trouble getting made. I cannot even imagine what that would be like in the movies. I mean, it was kind of, I don't want to say dumbed down for the book, made a little less gratuitous, maybe? But, yeah, this is a great issue. It is brutal as all get out, but yeah, I think the actual novel is even more brutal. I'd have to go back and check, but check it out. The art in this book, as usual, it's just really good. I mean, the colors and the dynamic poses and shots you get out of the battle room scenes, I think it's the battle room, are just awesome. Bottom line, if you're not reading at least Ender's Game, Battle School, and Command School, you're really missing out. The Bean one's just as good, Ender's Shadow, but this is such a good series. You really need to check it out. It's not that big of a commitment. It's only 8 issues so far, so it's awesome. Next up, we have Deadpool, issue 17. Don't judge this book by its cover, which I think looks really terrible. I don't know, things like her face, which I guess are probably purposeful, but it makes for a cover I don't want to look at. Don't judge the book by its cover. It's pretty funny. Good Deadpool. Deadpool's written well. The biggest knock against it really is that it's set in this whole Necrotia, I think it's called, the X-Men crossover, new island off the coast of San Francisco thing that I don't care about at all. I did read the Dark Avengers and X-Men crossover that laid it out, so I at least understand what was going on, thankfully. Although that series wasn't worth reading. Beyond that, funny issue, has some very good jokes involving poultry that had me guffawing, figuratively. It was funny. Check it out if you like Deadpool, if you're reading the series. Otherwise, this issue's not really a must-have. Looks like next issue is going to follow up right where this one left off, too, so it's alright. Now, before I get to the last book of the week, I'd like to point out, you may have noticed behind me, we have comics up on the wall. Civil War issue 3, the variant cover, one of my favorite covers ever. Star Wars Empire, number 4, that's X-Force, 13 up there. It's hard to tell, but it's like a X-ray of Cable where you can see all the metal. It's pretty neat. And I have others around my room that you can't see, and I don't really feel like showing you now. Now, I say all that to say that I have to really like a comic to put it up on my wall. In fact, I've only even changed any of the comics on my wall. I think this will be the 3rd time. One was that when I had an old Avengers cover up there, I think it was. Once I finally got my hands on that cover, though, I knew that one was going up on the wall. The others that I've changed aren't really important. The important thing is that there is one comic I've had up on the wall that it was a pretty cool cover, but I didn't think it was in the same league in terms of how much I liked it to be on the wall. And that issue is Fallen Sun, The Death of Captain America, the Iron Man issue. But I'm happy to report that as of Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I have a comic that I'm very happy to have on my wall. I've been looking forward to this one ever since I saw it in previews. Actually saw it online even before that, but really excited to have it. So let me leave you for just a minute and replace this one. I'll see you in just a few. And we're back. Now, not to keep you in suspense anymore, not that you should have been in suspense, A, because this is comic book reviews, and B, because if you look right to the right of this video, there's the show notes that would tell you every issue I reviewed, and you could just Process of Elimination out, which one I haven't shown you yet, but I'm happy to reveal the new comic from my wall, The Amazing Spider-Man, issue 611. And I'll move over to my floppy now, just to show you full detail. I mean, this is, I guess I did buy 2 copies. I rarely do it, but I love this cover so much. Scotty Young cover. You have my 3rd favorite Marvel comic book character, standing next to my 2nd favorite Marvel comic book character, who is dressed as my 1st favorite Marvel comic book character. The synergy in this cover, for me, is amazing. You may think it's dumb. I don't care. This is probably my favorite cover of this year. So, yay, I got it. I was very worried this was going to be like one of those 1 in 100 variants or something, and the regular cover would be dumb, and I wouldn't be able to get my hands on this one. But I did. So, that's awesome. Hey, you know what's even better than the cover, though? The inside of the book is really good, too. You've got Joe Kelly writing a Deadpool versus Spider-Man story that is hilarious. I was laughing all through this issue. So funny. New characters like Lady Stiltman. It's even funnier than it sounds. And a Deadpool versus Spider-Man Your Mama joke-off. Not as terrible as it sounds, because that's kind of overplayed, but it is really, really funny here. The art is a very cartoony style. It's not the same as the front page, as the cover. But I mean, you can see it's a kind of a cartoony style. It works really well for the humor of the issue, and there's some dynamic poses and stuff in there. Some of the perspective stuff is a bit off and feels warped. I mean, just in pages like that. That's Lady Stiltman, by the way, if you can't tell by the word balloon that says that. It's a bit weird, but it works very well for the comic. The interesting thing is, the end of the issue focuses on the Cravens, his wife and daughter, Craven the Hunter's wife and daughter, the new Craven the Hunters, and are very dark, those last few pages. Not funny like the rest of the issue at all. The art works really well for that, too. Normally, I would say, hey, this art is cartoony, that makes it great for the comedy, but I don't feel it for the dramatic stuff. It works really well for the dramatic stuff here because it's kind of a loose and there's a lot of dark in the cartooning, a lot of black lines and stuff. It just works really well. Bottom line, this is a tremendous issue, Spider-Man issue 611. I love it. I hope you'll love it as well. That is it for the comics I've read this week. You can follow me at Twitter, twitter.com/JordanFromNJ. That's twitter.com/JordanFromNJ. Now, next week, I have already seen the books that are coming out. Not the actual books, but I've seen the titles. And I happen to know I will be buying quite a bit more than normal. So we have 2 different options. And I'd like you to post in the comments and let me know what you'd like me to do. I can either do a 2-parter, kind of like I've done in the past, and, do half the next week's books now and then half mix it with the week after that, or just 2 parts in general. Or I could do shorter reviews for each book, 30 seconds or something like that, because otherwise I'm just going to run out of time. Let me know. What would you prefer, shorter reviews or two parts for next week? And I will see you then with more comic book reviews.